Let's be real for a second. You walk into the store and grab a carton of eggs, white, clean, uniform. Then you notice another set, farm eggs. A little dirty, maybe odd shaped, different sizes. And your brain goes, well, eggs are eggs. The only difference is the price, but that's where the illusion begins. Visually, they might look the same, but once you crack them open, the difference is impossible to ignore. A real farm egg? The yolk is deep orange, rich and thick. The white is tight, almost gelatinous. It looks alive. A factory egg? Pale yellow yolk, watery whites that spill out thin across the pan, like someone hit copy and paste on a production line. But here's the thing. This isn't just about how it looks. It's about what it does to your body. Pasture-raised eggs from chickens that actually get sunlight, eat grass and bugs, contain 2 to 3 times more omega-3 fatty acids, significantly higher levels of vitamins A and E, and a much better nutrient profile overall. These eggs actually feed you. They fuel your body, support your brain, help regulate hormones, and strengthen your immune system. Store-bought eggs from caged birds on cheap grain feed? They're often just empty calories, sometimes even inflammatory. You eat, but your body doesn't feel satisfied. You're hungry again because the nutrition just isn't there. Why should you care? Because in a crisis, when food is limited, when stores are empty, when every bite has to count, there's no space for hollow food. Your meals need to work for you, not against you. Especially if you've got kids to feed, elderly parents to care for, or you're just trying to keep your energy up when everything feels unstable. Food isn't just fuel, it's survival. On every level, physical, mental, emotional. So the next time you crack open an egg, ask yourself this. Are you just breaking a shell? Or are you investing in your health, your strength, your future? Let's be honest. Have you ever stood in front of the egg section at the grocery store trying to pick the good ones? You scan the labels. Cage-free, free range, organic, all natural. The boxes look clean, green, and friendly. Maybe there's even a happy hen pictured roaming through a field, and you think, yeah, this is the better choice. Feels responsible. Feels safe. But here's the truth you need to hear, those labels? Most of them mean almost nothing. You're paying more for marketing, not for quality. Take cage-free. It sounds humane, right? But in reality, those hens are often crammed inside massive warehouses with no access to the outdoors. No cages, sure. Just thousands of birds packed together, standing in their own waste. Free range? According to U.S. standards, that can mean as little as 2 square feet per bird and a small door to the outside that may never even be opened. Most hens don't even know it exists. And organic? That only means the feed was certified organic. It says nothing about whether the chicken ever saw sunlight. Many of them are still raised in overcrowded barns under artificial light. No fresh air, no grass, no bugs. Just a sanitized version of industrial farming. Why does this matter? Because it's a lie that directly affects your health. You think you're feeding your family better, you're spending more, but what you're actually getting is the same low-nutrition, high-stress product, just in prettier packaging. Lower nutrient density, higher inflammation, and that lingering feeling that food just doesn't nourish like it used to. I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying it because I've been there. I fell for it too. Until I saw the truth firsthand. Until I cracked a real farm egg, met a local producer, tasted the difference. That's when it clicked. Real food doesn't scream about how good it is just is. So the next time you see a carton shouting all natural, don't fall for it. Look deeper. Read the fine print. And remember, the louder the label screams quality, the more likely it's hiding something. You deserve to know what's actually landing on your plate. All right, let's talk about how the eggs you buy at the grocery store are really made. And here's the shocking part. They're more of a factory product than a natural food. You probably imagine it goes something like this. The hen lays an egg, someone picks it up, packs it, and ships it to the store. Fresh, simple, done. But the reality, way different. Factory eggs are built for profit, not for your health. The hens are packed by the thousands into massive sheds. No sunlight, no movement. Just rows of birds under UV lights, fed grain-based feed, often with additives to force higher egg production. But the real red flag comes after the egg is laid. Every industrial egg goes through a sanitation process. It's washed in chemical solutions, sanitized, and blasted with hot air. Why? To make it look perfect, to shine on the shelf, but in doing so, it loses one of its most important defenses, the natural protective coating called the cuticle. That invisible layer, which real farm eggs still have, is what naturally seals the shell and keeps bacteria out. It's why truly fresh eggs don't even need refrigeration. But factory eggs? Once that cuticle is gone, they're exposed, and they start to degrade fast. And here's the kicker. Those eggs you're cracking into your pan, they could be 2 to 3 weeks old before they even hit the shelf. Then they sit in your fridge for another week or two. According to research, in that time, they can lose 30 to 40% of their vitamins, especially A, B2, D, and antioxidants. So, yeah, you're eating eggs, but you're not getting the real nutritional benefit, especially when you compare it to an egg that was laid that morning and hits your skillet by dinner. One feeds your body, the other fills space on your plate. Why does this matter? Because in a crisis, you don't have room for empty food. Every bite needs to work for you. Every calorie must count. Whether it's building muscle, supporting your brain, or keeping your immune system sharp, your food has to perform. And let's be clear, when a company cares more about margins than nutrition, you are the last thing on their mind. So remember this. When food is built for shelf life and marketing, not for nourishment, what you're getting is a pretty shell with nothing inside. Your eggs were born 3 weeks ago. You just didn't know it. Ready to see what real eggs look like and how to get them? Let's keep going. Let me show you something that might change the way you look at eggs forever. Have you ever cracked open an egg and thought, is it normal for the yolk to be that pale, almost lemon-colored? Or noticed how the egg white just runs across the pan like water? The truth is, no, it's not normal. That's not how eggs are supposed to look. That's the industrial version, the factory standard, not nature's. Now crack open a real farm egg, and the difference is night and day. The yolk is deep orange, almost firm like a small ball. The white is thick, structured, it holds its shape. The smell? Clean, slightly sweet. Alive. I always say, if you can't tell an egg from a paint swatch, you're probably eating the wrong thing. This isn't just a visual difference. It's about how the chicken lived, what it ate, whether it saw the sun, and what you get in return, nutrient density, not just calories. Pasture-raised eggs from hens that actually roam free, peck at bugs, eat grass, breathe fresh air. Those eggs contain 2 to 3 times more omega-3 fatty acids, significantly higher levels of vitamins A, E, and D, greater antioxidant activity overall. Why does this matter? Because these nutrients directly affect your immune system, your focus, your hormone health, and your ability to recover from stress. This isn't nice-to-have nutrition. This is fuel your body depends on, especially when times get tough. So where do you find these eggs? Look to local farms, farmers markets, private producers. Look for the label pasture-raised, not just cage-free or free-range. Read the fine print, and more importantly, find a farmer you trust. Here's a simple trick. If the yolk is pale yellow, it's factory. If it's vibrant orange, that egg came from life, not a conveyor belt. Yeah, you're not just choosing food, you're choosing quality, strength, and resilience. If your eggs all look the same, you've been eating factory clones. Now you've seen what real eggs should look like. But what happens if those real eggs disappear? We're about to get into that, and trust me, it's serious. Let's finish this. You already know what real eggs look like. You've seen why they matter and how we're being misled by labels. But now it's time to talk about what really counts. What happens when those real eggs disappear? Since early 2022, we've lived through egg prices doubling, millions of hens being culled due to bird flu, interruptions in feed supply skyrocketing fuel, and logistics costs. And this is just the beginning. Forecasts are now showing we could see prices hit $10 to $12 per dozen by the end of the year. Why? Because bird flu outbreaks are ongoing. Small farms are going under. They can't survive the inspections, the regulation pressure, or the inflation. Feed is getting more expensive, and the big corporate players are buying up the entire industry, tightening their grip and setting the rules. All of this points to one outcome. Real eggs are becoming a rarity. Now ask yourself, are you ready for a future where all that's left on the shelves are sterile, factory-made, lifeless eggs, or maybe nothing at all? Think back to 2020. Remember the panic over toilet paper? Now picture that same panic, but with eggs, butter, milk. It's already starting to happen, just slowly, quietly. Most people won't see it coming until it's too late. That's why you need to move now. Find a local farmer you trust. Learn how to freeze eggs, crack them, beat them, pour them into trays and freeze. And if you've got even a small patch of land, it might be time to seriously consider getting a few hens. This isn't just about food, it's about control. Because when the next food shock hits, you want to have options. They've engineered your food to look perfect and say nothing. That ends now. So ask yourself, do you want to be the person panic buying the last pale eggs at the store, or the one who's already 2 steps ahead? You're not ready for what's coming, but you can start getting ready right now. And if this video made you pause, like it, subscribe, and stay with us. Because here on Crisis Cart, we don't panic. We prepare smart.